Everybody, a cabin update. Let me tell you, these people that are building these cabins on YouTube, that shit ain't done in no 20 minutes. It ain't done in one day. It ain't done in 1 month. This crap takes years to get. You got to find your wood. You got to get it processed down, meaning you got to get out your draw knife or your axe or whatever and get all the bark off. See how I had to strip all that? Because if you don't, you leave the bark under there. It holds moisture. And then it gets, see all these little lines? It's not focusing. Worms and bugs. So that takes time. Then you got to take your axe or whatever and get all the knots off of it so it's relatively straight, though. Finding a straight piece of wood in the forest is just almost impossible. So, yeah, there's no way. This is the most important wall. This corner is the most important because this is where the stove's going to go. So I don't want all that heat going right out the back. So I'm making these two walls here thicker. And then I got one sheet of radiant barrier here. And I put Thunder tore that up. Bless her heart, sweet girl. Almost don't want to throw it away because it reminds me of her. Little turd. I miss her. She didn't deserve to die. They supposedly vaccinated her for rabies, and then everybody that got vaccinated ended up dead. Long, slow, miserable death. I don't know what the hell they did to them, but they're going to pay for it. Cocksuckers are going to pay for that shit, and that goes for the Arms family, too, since you want to jump in and help terrorize me and my little furry friends. Those are my kids. Not to mention you murdered fucking Michaela. Had Hollywood, BlackRock owned Disney that owns Lucasfilms reach out to her husband, and he probably had a piece of tail on the side that already had another piece of tail lined up. All those people at Save-A-Fox need to be under investigation in case his new piece of tail helped him kill Michaela. Because that was money. That thing was growing fast, and she was pulling in a hell of a lot of money, and it was going right to the animals, and maybe he decided he wanted it to go to his Porsche. And some little piece of tail wanted her a Porsche. Who knows? Scuttle the thing, and then all of them go to work in Hollywood. Who knows? But anyway, this is the wall I'm focusing on right now. And I thought I'll just do a bunch of these vertical beams. That's too much work too. So I think I'm going to I got a shitload of these signs. They're going to get stapled. They're going to get, maybe not stapled, but I'll put holes in them like grommets and zip tie them to these to make a wall. And then I'll put the radiant barrier up, and I'll have to cut. This is where I'm going to be hanging gloves or socks or whatever. Got another one over here. Because that stove sits really low. It's only like, 7 inches off the ground. So I'm putting certain branches and leaving stuff on so I can hang stuff to dry. That's sawdust. But anyway, I'm going to have, I guess, coroplast walls. And then this spring, I'll put up, I got that big bundle of porch screen. It'll go up. So this will be a 4-season area where I can cook, sleep if I need to. I'm going to build me a bed. Those are my posts for my bed right there. And I got my bushcraft auger so I can put holes in them and then take something like that and put it across, and then I got all the other wood cut for beams for that. what I may do is, since I got all that other wood cut, I got all that wood over there, all that wood there, that wood there, all that wood in there, all that wood over there. Just do horizontal, getting it fixed, getting it secured is going to be the hard part, because I'm not going to use a bunch of nails and screws. I'm going to have to get a whole bunch of, probably, I'll either use cheap paracord from Dollar Tree or jute twine. But I'm only going to do it all from floor to ceiling on this wall right here and this wall here. And then probably the front and over here, because the wind, oh, we got two squirrels over there chasing each other, because the wind comes out of the north. But I got to get a whole bunch, about 3 or 4 more of these drop claws. They're not that expensive. And I think that's going to be the way to go, because that'll just make it a big greenhouse in here. It's warm in here because the sun's hitting it. If I had a piece hanging down in front here, I know it's much warmer inside that greenhouse. That was originally going to be my, and I'll still build that out eventually. I got to get all this, I'm going to start clearing all that out this month too, best I can. Got my sled, I got to go to Harbor Freight and get some casters for my wagon. There's my wagon. Front 2 wheels are busted. I got to get the 2 back wheels off and build front and rear axle out of my, where'd that go? I got a bunch of 1x1s. Oh, here they are. So I got to cut these down, drill holes in them to, I got to go out and get the casters before I know where to drill the holes. And I may have to, I got to get wood glue. I may have to put 2 together, because the casters may not fit on one. And some of these are different sizes. That's more like a 1.5. That's thicker than this one. These are the broken things. I've been collecting them for 5 years from everywhere. Not just the church down here, but everywhere. I see them broken on the ground. They're going in the trash. Shit, I repurpose it. I got a whole pile of them over here. A whole pile of them. I got all this coroplast. I was going to use that for the roof, but I've got no way to get up there and staple it. So I'll have to put holes in it with the hole punch, and then use zip ties. I think that's going to be my walls and maybe part of my roof. But I'll have to move that radiant barrier back. But I think I'll be fine this year with just some drop claws. And then that'll make it nice and warm in here. So if we get an Arctic blast, as long as I got those drop claws secured down with logs and rocks, and the wind can't blow it off, and I can fire up the wood stove, I should be fine. There's my clay floor. I got more loads of that to do today. I want that. It's not going to be completely level because I've been collecting rocks. So that's going to be a big part of that floor in there. I'm going to do rocks and wood biscuits. What are wood biscuits? Take a log and you cut it down. That's a wood biscuit, only that's just too thick. That'll be part of this floor here. Part of it. The rest of it's going to be, see, all that's rock. That's gravel. That's more than what needs to be there, because that's just where I throw it when I find it. But that'll take a section over here, section here, section here. So if any embers, of course, that I've never had any embers come flying out of the stove, not very far, usually just